She walked with a cane she didn't need, wore white like it was armor, and carried the weight of generations in her stride. She was a builder of schools, a whisperer of presidents, and a mother to a movement. Her name was Mary McLeod Bethune, and her legacy is a torch that still lights our path today. This is Black American Legacy. Welcome back. Today, we honor the life of a woman who turned $1.50 into a college, faith into policy, and friendship into political revolution. Mary Jane McLeod was born July 10, 1875, in Maysville, South Carolina, the 15th of 17 children. Her parents had once been enslaved. She was the first in her family born free. They were sharecroppers, living in poverty but rich in spirit, faith, and love. Young Mary often picked cotton by day and read books by lantern light at night. She later said, "The whole world opened to me when I learned to read." That reading opened the path. Mary earned a scholarship to Scotia Seminary in North Carolina, then studied at the Moody Bible Institute in Chicago. Mary originally dreamed of becoming a missionary in Africa, but no church agency would send a black woman abroad. So Mary changed her mission, and her mission changed the world. So she redirected her calling. "If I can't go there, I will build something here." In 1904, she opened the Daytona Literary and Industrial Training School for Negro girls, with just $1.50, 5 students, and her son by her side. She baked sweet potato pies to raise funds, made pencils from burnt wood, mattresses from moss, ink from wild berries. Her motto: enter to learn, depart to serve. By 1923, the school merged with the Coopman Institute for Boys, and in 1931, it became Bethune-Cookman College, making her one of the first black women to lead a 4-year college. In 1898, Mary married Albertus Bethune, an educator and son of a pastor. They had one son, Albert Jr., born in 1899. Though their marriage ended in separation, she kept the Bethune name and raised her son on her own. He later became her legal advisor and confidant. Mary's appearance became iconic, flowing white dresses and a cane she used not for walking, but as a symbol of dignity and authority. Her students affectionately called her Mama Bethune, part nurturer, part general, all heart. Bethune knew that black women were the engine of change, so she built institutions around them. In 1924, Bethune led the National Association of Colored Women. In 1935, she founded the National Council of Negro Women, uniting black women's clubs across the country. Under her leadership, the NCNW grew to 800,000 members. She believed in women's power, civic education, and the strength of sisterhood. Invest in the human soul, she urged. Who knows? It might be a diamond in the rough. Bethune advised 4 U.S. presidents: Coolidge, Hoover, Franklin D. Roosevelt, and Truman. Among her most important allies was First Lady Eleanor Roosevelt. Their friendship defied the norms of the time. Bethune became Director of Negro Affairs in the National Youth Administration, making her the first black woman to lead a federal agency. She also became the unofficial leader of FDR's Black Cabinet, a group of black advisors within the Roosevelt administration working to influence policy during the New Deal. Together, they pushed for anti-lynching laws, promoted black employment in New Deal programs, demanded inclusion in the military and government contracts. Bethune's presence in the White House wasn't ceremonial, it was strategic. Bethune and Eleanor Roosevelt shared a deep, authentic friendship. They advised one another, defended one another, and helped build bridges between civil rights activists and the Oval Office. Eleanor invited Bethune to the White House, walked beside her in public, and defended her against critics. When the Daughters of the American Revolution barred Marian Anderson from singing at Constitution Hall, Eleanor resigned in protest. Bethune called it true Americanism. "We have been climbing together," Bethune once said. "Mrs. Roosevelt never walked in front of me, never behind me, always beside me." Bethune's life was rooted in Christian faith. Bethune was deeply rooted in the African Methodist Episcopal Church. She led prayer meetings, taught Sunday school, and insisted that every act of education was an act of worship. "Faith is the first factor in a life devoted to service," she said. "With it, nothing is impossible." Her activism was fueled not by anger, but by divine purpose. Her faith didn't just guide her, it powered her mission. In the Jim Crow South, black families had nowhere to swim freely. They were banned from most public beaches. Florida's beaches were segregated, so Bethune took action. But Mary McLeod Bethune envisioned a place where black families could enjoy the ocean with dignity. In 1945, she helped purchase 12 acres of beachfront property in Volusia County, Florida near Daytona Beach, and created Bethune-Volusia Beach, a rare sacred space where black people could enjoy the ocean without fear. It wasn't just about water. It was about ownership, pride, and peace. Families held baptisms, youth groups sang on the sand, elders waded in dignity. It was more than sand and surf. It was a sanctuary for black church gatherings, a place for baptisms and family picnics, a refuge from the humiliation of segregation. We must create our own spaces of dignity, she said, and she did. In 1974, she became the first black woman honored with a statue in D.C. In 2022, she became the first black American represented in the U.S. Capitol's Statuary Hall. And before she passed, she left behind her last will and testament, not of money, but of wisdom. I leave you love. I leave you hope. I leave you the challenge of developing confidence in one another. I leave you a responsibility to our young people. This is Black American Legacy. If you enjoyed this remarkable story, please like, share, and subscribe to help tell the stories that built this country. Brick by Brilliant Black Brick.